Look at Malami, what EFCs have published about him. The stealing, the property is about 200 and something billion. They have not touched his cash. They have not touched his cash. And this building, somebody from KB told me, that one is small, they never see all. Attorney General of the Federation. Where are the Abacha notes? Where are all those crude oil sales you have captured this? Where is the money? Look at Malami. That didn't believe in rule of law, even as a senior advocate of Nigeria. He didn't obey court orders. Now look at him crying like a baby. My right, my right. Where is your right? That one should be put to prison to taste, to drink from the same cup. Even though it is not right, but it is good for people to drink from the same chalice from which they fed people. I told President Tinubu, if the cause of the problem in Rivers is about the votes in Rivers for you in 2027, the person to do business with is Fubara. He is the person sitting on the chair. Where I come from, the person that carry palm fronds, now him go to the follow, because that is good food. Fubara is on seat.
Let's go to your home state. Do you believe that your governor, Hope Uzodinma's government, has fully earned political legitimacy in the eyes of the people?
What do you mean legitimacy? Is that in question?
I say so because you understand the way people address him.
How did I address him?
Supreme Court governor.
No, those are people that are not knowledgeable with the law. They've not even seen the judgment.
Do you blame them from fourth to first? Do you blame them?
You see, you are talking like them now. You say from fourth to first. Okay.
We are pleased to have Chief Dan Nwanyanwu, MNI, OFR, former national chairman of Labour Party and currently the national chairman, Zenith Labour Party. How do you feel with the judgment on Nnamdi Kanu, your kinsman, who is now in prison and, of course, spend the Christmas in prison?
Well, I wasn't surprised with the judgment of Justice Omotosho. And I had made my position very clear even before the judgment, that I was not persuaded with what was going on in court, and that I have a firm conviction that Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything. There's no way you can try somebody, convict him for statements he made outside the country. He wasn't here. There was no evidence that he carried gun and killed anybody. There was no evidence that he was involved in massive killings, as we have seen. And my position is predicated upon the fact that there are people in this country that have killed, maimed, raped men, women, and children. And we are associating with them. We are discussing with them. In fact, we are having coffee with them. What is left is to sow ashebi with them in the name of negotiation. So what did Nnamdi Kanu do that his own case is different? And that's why I said Nnamdi Kanu is being persecuted because of his circumstances of birth. And that was an issue which President Muhammadu Buhari started. I have made it very clear, even I've spoken to SYMFONI many times, that President Muhammadu Buhari never liked the Igbo man, and he didn't pretend about it. He had what I called ancient hatred against the tribe and its people. And he showed it. In fact, he summarized it with the saying of the dot in a circle. That dot is in a circle is the engine room of this country's economy. Look, we are on holiday for 1 week now. I'm sure you drove to come here. Go to Lagos. Lagos is shut down. Nobody's on the streets. They have gone to their dots within the circle. Ditto Abuja. So you cannot single a tribe, and I'm not saying so because I'm Igbo. A proud one for that matter. But I hate tribalism. I hate things based on religion and tribe. There is no reason why you should hate a fellow citizen. because of his circumstances of birth. Nnamdi Kanu did not do anything. He didn't do any of those. Look at somebody like Gumi. Didn't government know all the stupid utterances Gumi has been making? In fact, he said we should put them in our budget. We should pacify them. We should pay them salaries. There's no way it can stop. The government through Buhari saw all this because of his expansionist agenda. Buhari wanted to Islamize the country. Let nobody pretend about it. And the first thing we did was to disarm citizens. Whether he had a den gun or they were disarmed. Immediately that was done, 1 week after, the terrorists moved in across the country. Thank God for Trump. Any Nigerian, man or woman, old or young, opposed to what Trump is doing as regards the terrorists is a terrorist himself. Any Nigerian, man or woman, young or old, that will oppose to the coming of Benjamin Netanyahu to assist Trump in clearing the terrorists is himself and his household terrorists. We have seen it in this country. We are handicapped. We could not do anything. And then some people are talking rubbish. Sovereignty. Sovereignty, my foot. If you are talking about sovereignty and people are being slaughtered in their hundreds, in their thousands every day, better suspend that sovereignty. Let those that will help you come and help you, as Trump is helping now. He has did it along the axis last week. I read in Kaduna today, last night. Let him continue and clean the place up so that we can sleep with our two eyes open. Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist. Nnamdi Kanu was handed over to Tinubu by Muhammad Buhari as one of his handing over notes. But what we are saying is, Tinubu did not pick Nnamdi Kanu. He inherited the problem. All we are asking is, he must have the political will to set him free. I must tell you that over 80% of reasonable Nigerians across the country are not happy with Nnamdi Kanu being in prison in Sokoto, because they could see that this is man's humanity to man. It is clear that it is that hatred against the people from that part of the country. It is not that he did anything. No evidence. Okay, let me even take you up. And the judiciary was available to give credence to that. Nnamdi Kanu said, Omotoso, show me the law. Show me the law you are trying me with. He asked that question more than 10 times in different trials. Justice Omotoso ignored him. Justice Omotoso forgot that Nnamdi Kanu is not a lawyer. A lawyer wouldn't have asked those questions. Forget about the books he was carrying. The first point is that he is not a lawyer. And he elected to defend himself based on his constitutional right, which says that an accused person can take the services of a lawyer or defend himself. He decided to use the latter. Why didn't you say, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, these are the laws, section this, section this, section that? You could not answer him. You forgot he's not a lawyer. I am not approving of the violence and the comments coming from, Nnamdi Kanu, the way he reacted. But any innocent man being terrorized through the judiciary can behave worse than Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, as a lawyer, I'm seeing it that calm down, calm down. But this is a man who knew he did nothing. And Nigerians knew that he had done nothing. With greatest respect, Justice Omotoso was a pawn. He was an instrument to be used to jail him. Why were the other judges reluctant in trying Nnamdi Kanu? They were pushing the adjournment. It's because they have seen it. Even after Supreme Court has said that his running away from his house, which they said he jumped bail, was legitimate. Over 20-something people were killed in his house. He lost his father. He lost his children. Whoever we say that in Nnamdi Kanu, for those saying that he should be hanged, let it be your portion. Let what is happening to him be your portion. When we are in power, we think that we are gods. Look at Malami of yesterday, crying like a chicken beaten by the rain. Look at Malami, that didn't believe in rule of law, even as a senior advocate of Nigeria. He didn't obey court orders. Now look at him crying like a baby. My right, my right. Where is your right? That one should be put to prison to taste, to drink from the same cup. Even though it is not right. But it is good for people to drink from the same chalice from which they fed people. Look at him. And look at all the stealing that has been published. That is all they do in government. Once you raise your voice, put him down. You raise your voice, put him down. One day, and let me put it in local parlance, one day be one day, monkey go market, you no go return.
All right. Let's move to P2B. He has officially joined the ADC. How does this strike you? Do you think it's a positive development?
P2B has the right to leave his former party to another party. But I also hope he got his calculations right. And if he has decided to go into the party, as I said, there will be more movements. Some people will not get tickets; they will jump out again. So that is what we see here. Everything is not based on principles, it's not based on loyalty to political parties. It's just looking for a good vehicle that will not be injured, that will take you to your destination. Let us see how it goes. Movements is normal in what we are doing. You can see almost all the governors now in APC. The governors have moved, but the people are behind. Are you getting me? The governors have moved. And even the governors that have moved are not making efforts to let the people, to carry the people along. So I think President Tinubu didn't need 20, 25 states, even 20 states, to win the presidency if he has satisfied the people. I told President Obasanjo this. I said, there's no need to struggle. If your work is good, Nigerians can see it. You don't need more than even with 10 governors or just to make your party strong, you can still win the presidency. If you look at the result of the last election, and let me pick the P2B you're talking about, he had no governor. You saw how many states he made 25%. Okay, you come to Delta, a sitting governor, vice presidential candidate of the PDP. He lost his state. He floored him. So that will give you the understanding that it is not the apex leadership that determines the votes. And I'm saying it emphatically. And with what has happened in Nigeria in the last few years, you will see leaders, either leaders of parties or self-acclaimed leaders, going to the war front without their subjects. That will happen in 2027. And unless until you touch those subjects, they may not be with you. So if people are moving, it doesn't move me because I understand the political barometer. There are states I can mention now that those that have moved will lose those states. When the collation of the result of the presidential election was tough in 2023, I was in the East, and it came to the point that our intelligence confirmed it that President Buhari didn't want Tinubu to take over. Read my lips. President Tinubu was not wanted to succeed President Buhari. President Buhari was working on an interim government, which he had plotted to hand over to my very good friend, good guy, the Senate President. That was our intelligence. If President Buhari at that point, had cancelled the collation, sacked Mahmoud, appointed another INEC chairman, who would now come and tell you that, look, I can't finish this in 3 months. I have to go back to the drawing board. By that time, President Buhari's government will be running. That's how the interim government would have come in. If that was done, how would P2B have known that he scored more than 6 million votes? Indeed, he scored more than 6 million votes. How would Atiku have known that he scored that number of votes? So I think it is those figures that has emboldened P2B now to see, without money, with naked love, Nigerians gave me these votes. So if I put little effort, I could make it. These are what I think, in my view, that has emboldened him. And he kept moving, talking since then. But Nigerians forget very easily. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, in this election, it will not be the same. Because the dynamics have changed. And if we are not careful, I'm talking about when we were in the trenches. Somebody like me then, I was sleeping in uncompleted buildings and Market Square. We were many. We were many. Some people went on exile, including this President Tinubu. He ran away. He went on exile for his life. Some used what we call Nadeko routes to escape from the country, to avoid being killed. That time it was a taboo. It was an anathema to be associated with any pro-democracy group. But we refused to listen. I told you, I was very young. I did not believe that if you pour hot water on tortoise, it will get tortoise. So don't ask me yes. So we don't want to get back to Lodeba. Our democracy is still fragile. And it is fragile because instead of those in power at different levels to strengthen it, they are making it weaker. They are making it look like democracy can't give us what we want. They are making it look like democracy is a scam. Because the people are not feeling it. And it was our mistake. When the Femi Falanas, Olisabakabas, Dumakis and others who were involved in this struggle, after achieving it, they went backwards. If they had come up to be in the Senate, to be in the House of Reps, the situation would have been different. Rather, we went backwards. Criminals took over the stage. And it is difficult to get things out from a criminal. So, we don't want to get back to Lodeba. I'm using of Lodeba. I'm still talking about Lodeba. We don't want to get back to Egypt. We must do everything to strengthen this democracy. The fight was worth it. And it will be wrong for those who have occupied positions to think that they have arrived so you can toy with Nigerians anyhow. If it gets to a point that Nigerians can no longer get anything from democracy, they may turn off to the page of Showore revolution. Don't get them get to that page, because the details of a revolution is not palatable. From Buhari's time, that's when all this nonsense happened. Until Bill came, I've been trying to clean the audience table, this and that, but he has to synchronize things. Look at the land. People, this Christmas was, it's a holiday that most Nigerians, whether you're Christian or Muslim, whether you believe in Jesus Christ or not, you feel it. But they're feeling it with bitterness, with anger, that this is not the country they wanted to belong. Nigeria is a sweet country. Nigeria has a lot that can go around. Nigeria is a place where no child should go to bed in an empty stomach. Look at Malami, what EFCs have published about him. The stealing The property is about 200 and something billion. They have not touched his cash. They've not touched his cash. And this building, somebody from KB told me that one is small. They never see all. Attorney General of the Federation. Where are the Abacha notes? Where are all those crude oil sales? You have captured this. Where is the money? Is Tinubu keeping quiet? Don't look at second tenor. Go after them and get all our resources. And I'm telling President Tinubu, if you are ready and willing to save us from this economic problem, which you cannot fund their budget, go after them and get our money. You'll be shocked. You will recover more than $100 billion.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's look at if the ADC comes up with the option of partnership with the Zenith Labour Party, will you accede to that?
You see, political party is an arrangement, parties talk. Even as they go, some of them have been talking to us and other political parties. It's not individually. It's not a matter of whether you will agree or you're not agree. You see, as we move closer, political activities will heighten a little bit from tomorrow. And it will get higher as we approach into the year. Don't forget, the primaries will come up, I think, by the middle of the year. So that is when you will see where you have to key in what you are going to do. It will be too early for anybody to assume, because you have to go back to your party. You have to go to your party and get your mandate, if it is a mass organization. So for the Zen Labour Party, we are not hardliners. We try as much as possible to go into agreements and discussions that will be in the best interests of Nigerians and for common good. That is how we operate, and that is how it is.
You have studied the power dynamics across Nigeria. What makes Rivers politics unique compared to other states?
You are taking me to Rivers again. I have refused to talk about Rivers. And I've spoken a lot about Rivers, even when the thing was hot. I told President Tinubu early last year in a press conference before the state of emergency. I said, if the problem of Rivers is supporting you, President Tinubu, in 2027, the person to do business with is Fubara. That was last year, early last year, before the state of emergency. You see, when you look at situation, if you're a good politician, you don't allow your prejudices, your hunches, your biases to affect your reasoning and your analysis. You will always get it right. Is President Tinubu not dealing with Fubara now? You don't have to live where there is merriment. You decide to go where the juju men are playing their games. Where they're money. So what I'm saying is, the Rivers case is a case I knew will solve itself, as it's solving itself now. I have not changed my position that those 27 lawmakers left the assembly. If you ask me, if not for whatever adjustments that have been made, they have left the assembly. They are no longer members of the state assembly. But I think they allowed it in the interest of peace. They have left. The provision of the Constitution is very clear. If you move as elected member of the State House of Assembly, House of Rep, or Senate, you move from the political party that saw you into that house into another political party. The Constitution said you have lost your seat unless there was a division in your party or there was a merger, which never existed in the PDP as at that time. But they later realized their goof. Even after they addressed a press conference with APC flags, they swore to affidavits and everything. Nigerians kept quiet. Even when the matter was in the court, our judges, with greatest respect, could not see it. And that's why I'm telling you that You see, when people say Nigeria is a joke, to some extent, yes. I don't know why people find it difficult to say the truth. So they left. And now they are back. And the fight is still on. Fubara did no wrong other than trying to be a puppet. No governor can be a puppet to anybody. No governor. If you carry the man from his bedroom to the chair of the governor, you must know and realize where to draw the lines. By the time you start overreaching yourself, talking as if you are God, the man will say, wait, this governorship I'm holding, I mean, no get power. That's all that's do. And don't forget, people will also be advising him. That is the beginning of the problem. But there are also governors that have good relationship with their successors because they did not overreach themselves. That was the problem in Rivers. Some people got some individuals in the internet. What is Nwanyanwu's interest in Rivers matter that he's talking about the state assembly members? I said that was an idiotic question. Chairman of a national party. We want the election to be conducted there so that we can pick some seats. You are asking me my locus stand there. They ran away. It is not personal. We are talking politics. We are not talking the Iroele, Ogona, and other. We are talking politics. In politics, when you are looking for, you don't look at those things. I said, this is my locus. They didn't do PIM again. So the Rivers situation is interesting. And I also opposed the the emergency rule. It was not granted on the Constitution. But you see, this country, you can't say much, you can't do much. But now, after the emergency rule, Fubara, I think he was at 75, 80%. Now Fubara is 90%. Support from the grassroots. Because you see, that part of the country, including where I come from, there are things you don't do to an individual. No matter how much, no matter how deep your pocket is, you think you can buy your way through, the people will not take it. And that is what the Rivers people are exhibiting. That this man was badly treated, this man was wrongly treated. We must give him this. So that support has crossed 90% now. So Fubara has positioned himself to win his second tenure under the political party. Even if we have an arrangement of independent candidacy, Fubara will win Rivers.
So what do you make of him joining APC?
Let me come to a point. Somebody reminded me that there was an agreement they reached with President Tinubu and Fubara's master that he should forget about second tenure. But he should forget about all the local governments. I laughed. I told him, that's what we call in law force majeure. That agreement was reached in PDP. Fubara has left PDP with the agreement. He is now in APC. So circumstances have arisen that it is difficult to obey that agreement, if there was an agreement. That's what we call force majeure. It's in law. That was a PDP agreement, but I'm no longer there to implement it. You see this small plantain, this small banana. In my place, they use it to teach a newborn baby how to eat, how to start eating solid food. But it's very sweet. So when he grows up, he would like to be eating it. As the small pikin go, they eat that small banana. He purges. The banana will be taken off how to purge the child. So I don't know why people are crying. There was an agreement. Yes, there was an agreement. I wasn't part of it, but I'm assuming there was an agreement. The agreement was reached in PDP. Fubara has left your party with your agreement and found solace somewhere else. So who will say that he will not get nomination? People are writing on the internet 001. They have given him zero. He's the leader of the party by their constitution. It is settled. Every other thing you are hearing is what Davido will call cho cho cho. The fact is that Fubara is the head of APC in Rivers. And I'm sure this national chairman will give him automatic ticket in Rivers. He has the first right of refusal. Can you see Rivers that has been PDP? As if with their papa, with their mama. Immediately Fubara moved. They moved. Let's support him. We don't allow this nonsense to happen. So that is, you see, when you are doing something, when you're in power, don't forget that no condition is permanent. You can be used for a purpose. I remember we were talking something, I was angry. I was with late Chief Dr. Zife. He said, my chairman, don't be angry like that for what you said this guy did. Use people for the purpose, for the use of what they can do for you. And play along. Gradually, they will fizzle out. And I took that advice. And that was how I treated that guy. By the time he left, I didn't know. Because he had seen that he was no longer useful. Well, I think the Rivers case will be interesting. And some political parties are still talking of giving Fubara the full support to show that what was wrong to him was wrong. You see, I'm talking generally. I'm not personalizing things. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking political party administration, how tickets are gotten and all that. I said I told you last year. I told Tinubu last year. The time I was to be attacked in Transcorp Hotel, in that press conference. I told President Tinubu, if the cause of the problem in Rivers is about the votes in Rivers for you in 2027, the person to do business with is Fubara. He is the person sitting on the chair. Where I come from, the person that carry palm fronds, now him go to the follow. Because that is goat's food. Fubara is on seat. Unless he doesn't know what to do, he's not working with leaders, he doesn't work with different people, there is no way people will not follow him. And that was what took President Tinubu 1 year to tacitly adopt. The game is clear. And I don't think it's entering Fubara's head. But the point is that he has gotten little liberation. As they've said, they tied him with an agreement in another party, and he has left that party. So the agreement, if any, has collapsed on its own, without Fubara disobeying it. I think Rivers will be interesting. And if you start from Amechi's time, all this noise about I have this, because the center gives you power. When Amechi was with Buhari, he was entering Rivers with all sorts of strength and all that. So, if Abuja doesn't give you support, you will be on a suicide mission. Yes, I agree with the saying that monkey sabi jump from 3 to 3. It's because 3 are close. If 3 no dey close, monkey go land for ground, yakata. Are you hearing me?
Sure.
That is an old saying. So I don't think Fubara is going to have any problem. Right. But as to the local governments and the state assembly, since they are already allowed in, let me advise them. With all this, they say 100,000 naira, we had funded this and that. Okay. He gave you maybe, I don't know, assuming, say 100,000. Now, if Fubara feel give these people for Christmas, I said, anyway, whatever it is, you have returned it. No problem. It's not by force. But you have your political career. You have your political career to protect. When, during Hope 93, for those of us who were sleeping in Abiola's house, when people were leaving, Boubacar Rimi and all that, they stopped coming to the house because I could give you a list of those that were coming in Abiola's house. I was there every day. Tinubu was one of them. So when Rimi was interviewed while he left, he said, I didn't join politics because of Chief MKO Abiola. And I love that quotation. So these State House of Assembly members, warn yourself that you didn't join politics because of anybody. It's for you to serve your people and help them improve with their lives. So, but if you continue the way to antagonize the governor and other things, he's the head of APC in the state. I like the tactical statement made by Okocha after registering him. He came with him. Yes, though painful, but your party headquarters have asked you to do so. If you don't do so, they dissolve you and remove you. If you don't do so, they dissolve you and remove you. You can't disobey the headquarters. A political party is that party that is in the headquarters of the country, which is Abuja. Every other one is a branch. You can wake up tomorrow and say, this party, we don't need River State branch. You shut it down, close your offices, go to other parties. You have not flattered any law. You can go to another state and say, we don't need 1, 2, 3, 4 states. Shut it down. Provided you don't go below 24. That is what people do not get. When they're saying they went for NEC, they did this, they didn't have this. No. It's like a national convention. Taking decisions. Some people are challenging it. After God, the next organ in a political party is the national convention. The national convention can rise and dissolve the political party. They have not flat. They can rise in a conference and say, from today, this party no longer exists. Those in favor say aye, aye. Those against say nay, nay. INEC will be there. They communicate INEC will no longer exist. There's nothing you can do about it. Then somebody will sit somewhere and be challenging decisions on convention. Supreme Court has stated it. It is the party that decides on its own affairs without more. So don't challenge a convention. When a matter has moved up to the convention, that is the local, that is the apex on that issue. You cannot challenge it. But you see in Nigeria, I learned that some in judiciary, people have people they can take cases to with greatest respect and they get judgment. We are taking records. And when the time comes, as I told you, one day, monkey go market, you not go return.
How do you react to the controversy over the tax reform between the one passed by the National Assembly and the alleged one being implemented by the executive?
In fact, I don't understand it. But since it has been proven that the one passed by the joint houses of National Assembly has been doctored, it should be returned back to the National Assembly to start it de novo. They have to start afresh.
The president is saying they're going ahead.
That will be wrong. Something has been doctored, even if it is and is. If something is doctored that is substantial to that law, we cannot implement it. National Assembly has seen it. Thank you to the senator that observed it.
The House of Reps.
Yes. Is this House of Rep? Yeah. Thank you for observing it. You read it line by line. Return it back. Let them have another joint session to repass it and say, it won't take long to send it to the president. But for us to implement a doctored bill sent to the president for assent, whoever did that, President Tinubu may not know about it, but whoever did that, by now, should be cooling off where Malami is, former Attorney General of the Federation. That's why I told you, we pretend a lot in this country. We see the right thing to do, we will not do it. We pretend as if everything is going well. So that is my take on that. But we have to study and know how it affects our pockets.
One is tempted to ask, why is the National Assembly not putting the president under pressure with that statement that this tax is going ahead from today? Why are they not putting him to task?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
All right, from your personal understanding of politics in Nigeria over the years, between these arms, since 2015, between the parliament, the people in the executive, would you say has had more destructive effect on our democracy?
National Assembly and the judiciary. They are the two that should check the executive. So I put the executive aside. Executive may decide to be reckless. Executive may decide to do whatever it wants to do. It is the National Assembly and the judiciary that should put them on check. And they're not doing it. Since 1915. 2015. Look at during Obasanjo. Obasanjo had it tough. Because you had a functional Senate and House of Rep. Even during Jonathan. It was not a case of carry go. If you want to steal, at least steal decently. Steal, not steal, but steal decently. Don't steal to a point that they will see your traces and you say nothing will happen. It is not well. It is not good. So it is these two organs in 2015 that are the lowest points and judiciary. Look at the time of, as I have always said, Kayode Esho, Justice Kayode Esho, Karibi White, Namane, Justice Oputa, Nikki Toby, Ogwebu, Wali. Look, even during the military, they struck down some military armed forces civilian council decision. Nothing happened. But now, with greatest respect, some of them are behaving like jellyfish. Before you open mouth, they've started panicking. It's because of the way they entered the judiciary since 2015. Look at the characters Buhari put in the judiciary since 2015. These are the people that will rise to Court of Appeal and Supreme Court. Today is morning. Now it's morning. Let's wait for afternoon and evening. Garbage in, garbage out.
Let's go to your home state. Do you believe that your governor, Hope Uzodinma's government, has fully earned political legitimacy in the eyes of the people?
What do you mean legitimacy? Is that in question? Is that legitimacy in question? And he has done, he's going to 5-6 years now. 6 years or so, plus. He has less than 2 years to go.
I saw so because you understand the way people address him.
How did I address him?
Supreme Court governor.
No, those are half-baked people that are not knowledgeable with the law. They've not even seen the judgment.
Do you blame them from fourth to first? Do you blame them?
You see, you are talking like them now. You say from fourth to first. Yes. Okay. Both of us are in a competition. Yeah. You scored 6 marks. They gave me 4. But some of my marks were not added on my script. I have come second. You are first. So I complained. They brought external examiners to look at our scripts. They discovered that 4 of my marks, or 3 of my marks, were not added. But they have published the result. They say, please add it. Then I have overtaken you by that.
Ironically, the marks that they added exceeded the number of registered voters.
Wait, I'm coming. Wait, I'm coming. You are going into another era. Let me answer you from what you're saying.
Okay.
So when they added those marks, I am now ahead of you. What is my number? What is my position? I'm asking you. My position is first. I was fraudulently given second. That was the case of Hope Uzodinma. I don't think I should be speaking about it because it has been, we have trashed it. And you see, I know coming to Imo State is a blessing to the people of Imo State. Take it to the bank and read my lips. Hope Uzodinma is the best governor that has ever ruled and governed our state. Since after Mbakwe. Really? Even I don't want to talk about Mbakwe again because he was there for 3 years. But if I tell you that he has exceeded Mbakwe, you will say, hi, how? Hope has brought structural development in the state. Hope has brought a lot of, come to our roads that were impassable for 8-10 years. You could pass those roads now with your eyes closed. There are inter roads, link roads. Look at our airports, look at the empowerment, look at hospitals, look at the schools, look at the power plants, look at the gas plants. These are approvals he got from Abuja. And somebody will sit down and say, it's Hope, the governor of Imo State, or his shining shoe for Tinubu in Abuja. If I have to sign shoe without admitting that that's what he's doing, if I have to sign shoe for the president to get approvals, to get things done in my state, I will shine the shoes every day. But they forgot about his responsibilities. Apart from chairman of APC Governor Forum, he's been driving the New Hope agenda. Yeah. In fact, people ask, where does he get the capacity? I mean, where does he get the energy? You will still see the church people on the internet. One came across me in November, and towards the end of November. After talking, I said, okay, I hope you come back for Christmas. He said, no, he won't come. I said, when did you get to him last? He said, 6 years. I said, 6 years. They are very strong on the internet, talking about Imo State. He said, yes, that's what they told them. I said, okay, you know what? I will pay for your transport to Imo, not fly to, so that you can come. We drive around. You see, we go to Owerri Zone, we go to Okigwe, we go to Olu Zone, so that you can see the work of Governor Hope Uzodinma. You have not returned home for 6 years. But what are you doing there? What about your wife and children? It was the wife that went 2 years ago during August meeting. But these are the people that will be in Abuja and be abusing them and working anymore. They are not going home. Look at the Imo airport. If you're approaching that airport, it's better than Nnamdi Azikiwe airport. Somebody told me he flew off, he left that place. He said, I didn't know that the airport operates at night. I said, hey, Governor Hope did that more than 1 year ago. They're landing 8. He said they took off from Imo airport at 10. Landed, there was all sorts of things during this season. So planes will land in the night now in Imo, take off in the night to their destinations. This was what previous governments did not see to do. Why would I not talk about Hope Uzodinma? Do you know Concord Hotel?
Sure.
Good. Are you from there?
That's pretty normal.
Good. By the time you go to the next time, you won't recognize Concord Hotel. It's now being handled by Hilton, this city here. The last time I entered there, I'm sure it will be opening now. About now. He has turned it to a new thing, new baby. Good thinking, good product. Do you know the new Owerri? From where you know the new International Conference Center?
I've not been there. I've heard of it.
Okay. What did you hear? It's an edifice.
They're building something good.
Not that they're building something good. It is the best in the country.
I've not seen it.
And I'm telling you now, it's the best in the country today. President Tinubu was there. President Tinubu, when he was there, was looking at it, he was busy. He was busy looking around. I didn't know what was going in his mind.
So it didn't cost 39 billion like the IC.
No, this one here is a scam. Don't drag me there. Don't drag me there. A lot of projects being done here will be interrogated after. Why are you talking about ICC at 39 billion? Don't drag me. There are things we don't want to say now, but we are keeping records. Now, that is another project. You see, Imo is an interesting place. If you know that route, if you enter from that place, you're not going towards the new Owerri. There is a river belt. I was shocked. It's like a beach now. The first day they opened that place, there were more than 10,000 Imolites and other people enjoying themselves. Tourism has come back to Imo.
But I have one problem with the situation of insecurity in Imo. Even to the point, last time out, people traveling from the Owerri airport were being kidnapped. So the issue of kidnapping and
Wait,
in Imo is
that's the only thing they're talking against Hope now.
yeah. And how has he been able
Is it Hope? Is it Hope that has been doing the kidnapping?
He's not, but he's the chief executive.
Good. Let me tell you, I had opportunity to speak with the Commissioner of Police, Aboki. And that day I spoke with him, it was in the night. They were in the bush. They were in the bush with the brigade commander, the one they had transferred. They had sleepless nights for weeks and for months. And that thing that came down. You know how these things operate? Little time they will strike here, they strike. Is it the governor that is the kidnapper?
He's not.
Is it the one sending them to kidnap? His duty is to mobilize the security forces, which is encouraging them. And if not, this Christmas, you can't move freely in any part of Imo State. It is because of the strategy of Governor Hope Uzodinma that people, you see, I'm not his commissioner for. Why are you asking me this kind of question? They will think I'm speaking on his behalf, but I know it. I live in Imo virtually. Before, even the major road of Okigwe Road, Douglas Road, you can't pass there. But now, in Imo, during this season, people moved everywhere, got to the beach, got to important places, had fun, enjoyed themselves. Last night was bad. I'm telling you. So you must always have criminals in a society. But what is important is, what is the government doing to make sure that they are dealt with? Yeah, Chief Security Officer of the state, he doesn't control arms. He doesn't control all those things. And if the commissioner or brigade commander decides to do otherwise, after getting order from the other side, there's nothing he can do. But I think they have a relationship. They have a good relationship. So we must thank the governor. Imo people are happy. When we finish now, try and make calls. They will tell you we are happy. I'll give you the number of Commissioner of Information and the Chief of Staff. Tell them you want to come there. They will ask you to come. And when you finish going there, call me back and tell me whether I'm lying or not. You see, you cannot sweep under the carpet what a man has done. Hope Uzodinma is now even working in his second term more than he did in the first term. You know how many hospitals he's renovating now? You know how many secondary, primary schools that is on renovation across the country, across the local government? Empowerment is there. Training you is not dashing you money. Creating skills for you so that you can be very useful for yourself in future. So it's not a question of you are always there. Yes, when Zulum was working, I spoke about Zulum. Nobody attacked me because they know I'm not from Borno, and I have never met Zulum for the first time in my life. When Wike was working in Rivers, I praised him. I didn't know him then. So look at Abia. Abia is something to be watched. What OT is doing in Abia and has done in Abia within 2 years, 10% of it was not achieved since 1999. And then somebody will wake up, I will remove him. I will remove him in Nigeria. Remove who? Will you go to Ariara Market to campaign? Will you go everywhere to campaign? Somebody wrote all sorts of rubbish about him in September, October. So I was told the story. The man was like, okay, why not come? So that I call many people so that they can hear this thing. The man asked him, where are you? He said, I'm in Ariara Market, Aba. He said, no, I'm not coming. Why are you not going there to market your bad campaign? OT has turned the places that were unreachable. Aba was a write-up. Umuahia was no-go area. If you go to Umuahia now in the night, people now do their markets, their sales up to midnight, 1 o'clock, because there are everywhere slitted up. But people were there since 1999. They did nothing. Aba was backward. But here is a governor, Alex Oti, who has turned it to something else. Ask people from that state.
I'm from there.
Good. What I'm saying, is it making sense?
Sure.
Oh, sure. Thank you. You have admitted this one. So let me see that person. And one of them is in the House of Rep. Better use style. Go and tell Oti, I beg, leave me for my seat. Because where Oti asks them to go, that is where they go. They have never seen such a thing. Organic support. Oti comes out on the street, people will be carrying banana to him, pure water, everything. That is to show love. We thought we were not part of Nigeria. We thought we were not on the map. You have brought us back to the map. And what are you saying? I talked about Enugu. His technology to monitor criminals and all that. So when I talk about Imo, that's when people will attack me. Why?